In this tutorial, you're going to learn how to find citation style guides using the library's website, how to identify parts of a citation in a research database, and a note about citation generators, what their usefulness is and what their limitations are. To find the library's Citing Sources Guide, first click on the Help button at the top part of the library's website. And from there, you'll see all these little boxes, and Citing Sources is in one of them. You can also get to the Citing Sources Guide through any of our research guides as well. Notice on our Citing Sources Guide that you'll see all of our most commonly used styles, so APA, MLA, and Chicago, as well as lots of other citation styles that you may end up coming across while you're doing work here at UTC. For this class, you're likely being asked to use MLA. This is taking us to Purdue University's online writing lab. They've done a really nice job of putting the MLA guide in an online format. Some things I'd like to point out. This first page gives you the basics of what you need in your works cited page. So author, title, and so on. On the left, you're going to see a menu. Notice that there is rules for in-text citations, for how to format quotations, and so on. Further down, you'll see how to create a works cited entry for specific types of sources. First, there's books, then there's periodicals. Periodicals just means anything that's published regularly. A magazine is a periodical, but also a newspaper and an academic journal. As you scroll down, the most important page that you likely need is the electronic sources page. Notice that they have rules for all different types of sources. So it starts with kind of this basic citation style for all electronic resources, but then there's specifics for how to cite an entire website, how to cite an image, or an article in a web magazine. There's also, and this might be most important to you, specific rules on how to cite an article from an online database. So now you know where to find the rules and how to format things. Let's look at an actual database entry of an article, and I'll point out where to find all the information. Here's an example of an article that I found using the database ProQuest Central. My search topic today had to do with the ethics of self-driving cars. So this is a really standard view. It came from the result list. I just clicked on the title of the article. So right here, these are the authors' names. This is the title of the article, The Ethics of Accident Algorithms for Self-Driving Cars, an Applied Trolley Problem. The title of the journal, this is one that gets students mixed up a lot. It's actually this right here. It's in bold. It's called Ethical Theory and Moral Practice. It's volume 19, issue 5. Here's the date and the page number range and the DOI. So all that information is kind of right here. Up in the upper left-hand corner, this ProQuest, that's the database that I found this article in. I recommend, if you're confused about what each thing is, to always click on the Abstract and Details tab here, because if you scroll down a bit, it actually tells you exactly what's what. It tells you the title, the author, what the publication title is, and that's one that gets, like I said, it gets students tripped up a lot. It really spells out volume, issue number, and so on, so that if you're confused about anything, you can look there. If I scroll down just a little bit more, it really lists the DOI specifically here, and MLA rules say that you can use a DOI or a document URL, and both are listed here. The big thing is that don't get confused with the title of the publication and the name of the database that you found it in, which is ProQuest. Now, for a quick note about citation generators. Whether you use a website like EasyBib or bibme.com, you always want to double check the citations that are being generated. These databases that we have all have citation generators built right in. So underneath the download PDF button, there's this handy cite button. Notice here that they have almost everything correct, but they've actually listed the document URL and the DOI. And according to the MLA citation guide, we only need one or the other. So none of these citations that are generated are perfect right off the bat. You always want to double check them against the actual style guide. So if you have any questions at all about citations or anything else having to do with your research, head on back to that research help page where you can chat with a librarian live on the spot. You could also set up a research appointment or use any of these left-hand links for research guides and tutorials.